Hey guys, we're back with another episode of Taco Imposters for Monday, September 25th, 2023. Excuse me. Yeah. I'm watching an episode of the Waveform podcast. I was going to say Pat Country's. Nope. Marquez Brownlee's podcast. And they're talking about, like, Twitter alternatives. I'm like, oh my god, this is so complicated. What the heck, man? You know what I mean? Just like, oh my god, that's insane. Because talking about stuff like Mastodon and I think, and or Blue Studio or something, Blue Sky or something, Sky Studios, whatever. Anyway, and it's like, it's so confusing because okay, so you have like centralized people like all the good places everyone uses, you know, your Twitters, your Instagrams, your WhatsApps, and well, actually I don't know about WhatsApp, but your Twitters, your Instagrams, and your like Facebooks and your YouTubes, right? They're all centralized. It's like, okay, great. Or well, it's fine. It's fine. Right? It's fine. But what this like Mastodon wants to have is like a protocol where you just use this, and then everything that uses that protocol is just bam, and whatever, and then you can just like have it, and you can and you host your own server. I'm like, oh my god, that sounds so stupidly confusing. It sounds just ridiculous, okay? It sounds absolutely ridiculous. And it does. It just sounds stupid, right? But then it's like, oh, but you can have your own server, and it's great. And it's like, no, it's really confusing. It's like RSS, or it's like, they are explaining it as like an email address. So it's like, oh yeah, you can send any email to anybody, anywhere on any email, but your provider or your server hosts your emails on your server. And then they went to or they went to Blue Sky, Stack, whatever it is, and it was like, oh, there's like an and though this is like you host it on your own website. I was like, oh, okay, so if you own your own website, you can just host it. Because the problem was, they were like, oh, Discord is very, like, Discord is somewhere in the middle, where it's like, okay, it's not terrible, but it's also not something I would be like, yeah, I want to use, like, I would, see, it's a problem. I would recommend this to almost anybody, because it's kind of confusing, right? It's weird. It's weird. I wouldn't suggest any of these to everybody. Like, even Discord is like, okay, that's kind of iffy, but the other problem is, it's so confusing when you're trying to figure out how to use any of these new, like, alternatives to Twitter or just, like, social media platforms in general. It's like, oh my god. No offense, but this is ridiculously confusing. Like, I was telling my friend, right, where we're trying to create a Discord bot, right? Or we were trying to create a Discord bot. And I said to him, I'm like, look, dude, Discord can be one of the most confusing websites, or confusing, like, things to get, social whatevers to get onto. For some reason, it comes off as like the most confusing thing ever. And I was like, and he was like, yeah, once you explain it to someone, it's simple as all heck, and or it's intuitive, and like you think, oh, that makes so much sense. But if you don't know how to figure it out, you're just sitting in a limbo of like, how do you use any of this? This is so confusing. This is so dumb, right? Because it is. And I'm thinking Mastodon or is going to be even worse. You're like, huh? How do I, what? Because they're also explaining how, like, when you first get on, you're like, what server would you like? A .tech, a .social, a .news, a .gaming, it's like, what? But do these correlate with, like, where I'm going to be stuck on? Because that's what Marquez is asking. He's like, okay, whoa. On Mastodon, right? Do you get stuck, okay, in, like, one place? It's like, no. Also, it's not Discord where if you're only in one Discord server, you get stuck into one Discord server. It's like, no. And you can only talk to people in that Discord server. It's like, no. This is like if Discord decided everybody has a server, or everybody gets, or there are servers, but everybody can talk to everybody everywhere. Just, the server just has, it's just where we host all of our quote-unquote, like, files for us. Like, for the, I don't even know how to explain it, because I don't even know I'm going to get it exactly, but, like, yeah. So it's like, okay, well, that sounds complicated. And Marquez was like, that is not for everybody. Like, no. And I was like, no, it's not. I was thinking, no, it's not. Not at all. Because they're confused. So many people. Could they be like, am I stuck? How do I find you? Where do we go? How do we do this? You know. Although Discords are very much used like... Discords can be very much used as like Zoom meetings almost, where it's like, oh, we'll just hop on our Discord and do our thing and then get off, right? Where it's not like an informative like place to post posts. I mean, you can. You definitely can. But it's not really used super... Well, it depends on the kind of server. Because there are servers that are used like that, and then there are servers that are used completely like, oh no, we're just going to post information, and that's it. We're an informative server with this, that, and the other thing. Which, fair, works. but like, this, I don't know, this stuff seems very complicated and very dumb. Because I was thinking, too, when they started talking about, like, well, what if Google decided to just can YouTube? It's like, yeah, well, where would you go? Because I'm like, okay, you'd have those people who try Facebook, you'd have the people who try Instagram, and you'd have the people who try Vimeo, and you have the people who try Rumble. And of all those places, Rumble's the only one that's even remotely close to, like, being something that's good. But the way they run things is weird, because they have it in, like, you get a Rumble, and it's so bizarrely... No, I'm sorry, like... No. No, I'm sorry. No. 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 Just no. Just absolutely no. Sorry. Now, I'm not saying it's terrible as in, oh my god, this is awful, this is the worst thing ever, but no, I'm sorry. It just, because you have to, like, you give them, like, two videos will come up and fight, and you're like, why, no, just stop. Just stop. Because you can't have it be some weird new way of doing things. You have to just have it YouTube. If it's not just YouTube where you can upload a video, nobody cares. Nobody wants to do all this, like, mumbo-jumbo. Hooey, you know, going through this hooey. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's actually dumb. So, like, yeah, these other places, other than Twitter, it's like, well, Twitter's centralized, but who cares? It works. It's like, yeah, I guess. And a lot of people will just look at it and go, why would I ever leave the walled garden I like, right? I like the way this works. I like the way this works. I like the way this works. Whereas, like, with all these other places, the ones that are hosted somewhere else, it's like, that's complicated and stupid. And you'll be the most confused person ever because you'll think, wait, am I stuck on a social? Because you think it's like a category of, like, server. It's like, no, this server just happens to be called, it's dumb. It's real dumb. It's really dumb. Dumb in the, like, you're not going to get everybody on here. It's never going to happen. Because Mastodon is the one that, like, I've heard about too, yeah. And, I guess it's okay. Look, it seems like an interesting idea, but because it was like they were trying to explain it as like, think of it as like if Reddit, if everybody could talk to everybody in Reddit, everybody can talk to everybody in Reddit, but everybody had Reddit, you know, subreddits. But these subreddits had nothing to do with anything really, except maybe they had some rules on it that said in this server you can't do this, and don't do this, and you must do this, and it's got to be done this way and not this way. That's it. But everybody can talk to everybody. And so again, that's confusing because, like, wait, what does that entail though? Anyway. Which is why kind of Discord works better in, like, because it's like, you get a server, but you don't have to host it yourself. So you don't have to, like, all the upfront problems of, like, trying to figure out how to, like, run it, host it. So. And anybody can use Mastodon, so, I don't know. And one guy, I think it was Andrew, his name is, anyway, and he was like, oh, so everybody follows the laws of the jurisdiction they're located in? Like, yes? It's like, oh, maybe not. It's like, uh-oh. Or they live in, like, Eastern Europe, and nobody gives a crap, and we're doing weird things in Eastern Europe. I don't know. It's like, uh-oh. Which is true, it's uh-oh. So, yeah. I'm not saying, okay, that it's terrible for nobody to use. Just don't use it. It's terrible. Don't let it become a thing. No, but don't make me have to have one at a certain point. Because that's just, oh, God. It's just dumb. It's like Threads is now a thing. It's like, I don't care. Why did you, look, just take Threads, implement Threads into Instagram. You know how many people will be using Instagram? Because that's the thing. Once you can post, because I said it to my mother one time, I'm like, look, once you can post something like Facebook, like a post or a Twittery post, everyone's going to just lop off Facebook. Well, there's a few things. There's posts on Facebook, and then there are Facebook like posts, and then there are posts like, or then there are things like, I can make the same kind of groups, I can make the same kind of like pages that only have this or that, I don't know, or like lock a page to say come into like private, I don't know, because like my young adults like rally thing, he set up a like page on Facebook, and I'm like, for like people to just talk to each other and go, oh, I want to do this, you want to come? It's like, but I'm like, Facebook? Why? Why Facebook? How many people in this group have Facebook? And I look at them and I go, probably way more people than I think. But I'm looking at the next generation of people and I'm going, I don't have Facebook. And then I'm looking around and I'm going, I can tell you, right, this person doesn't have Facebook. Or I could be like, I could make an educated guess and say, you probably don't have Facebook, you probably don't have Facebook, you probably don't have Facebook, and I probably guess maybe 10% of the people in that room in any given month, maybe 5 to 10% of those people just don't have Facebook. And it's like, what? But once you implement those kind of things onto something like Instagram, nobody's using Facebook anymore. Or you make a better platform that does that well. And I think that's Discord. At this point in time, I think it's Discord. Now, there are like places. I found places with for like Christian versions of this, and it's like of like a Discordy type, Facebooky type like social media, and I'm like, this is just too complicated. Why? That's why I think Discord should exist. Discord should be the one that we use. I don't understand why we're not using it for everything. Like, can Facebook, can screw that off. I don't know if you can actually have that link. Like, if you could make a QR code or like a Snapchat code for like Discord server, that'd be awesome. I don't know. I've never actually looked into that. I probably should. I don't know that for a fact. Maybe that'd be really, really, really useful. Because he likes it as like it's a QR code you can. But then again, make a link that never expires, put it into a QR code, done. Problem solved. Well, yeah. There's lots of places like that sit in like weird places. Like there's a few on Microsoft Flight Simulator X, which is a 10, and there was one that was dead and there was one that was alive. And that's the problem that people don't know. Like, no, you have to set it so it doesn't expire. I think by default default expires. Oh, it's kind of annoying that people don't understand. Oh, it's like, no. And then how do you like message these people after to say, well, your link there is dead? Because I went on some of the, because on there's in multiplayer there are like Discord servers is what I'm talking about. Sorry, in multiplayer there are Discord servers. Well, in multiplayer there are servers, or in multiplayer there are like I guess servers. I don't know if how that works, but in their like descriptions are like, oh, come to our Discord server. And it's like, yeah, but you don't exist because your link is dead because it's stupid. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, and so. But how do you tell someone that? How do you actually tell someone that? I don't know. They're dead. Like, I went in and I tried to like talk to people. Hey, is anybody here? I saw people playing. I found actual other players. I'm like, is anybody here? Does it exist? Or is this the chat room? Or is this chat room just dead? Because like, I wouldn't be surprised if the chat room's dead. But why can't I just? I don't know. I just don't get it. Right? I want to like make a big statement. One of them is like, your Discord server is dead, or your Discord link to your server is dead. Please update it. I'd love to be connected with you people, but you don't, you're not, I can't. So, anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, so, that's that one, I guess. I mean, it's a fine idea, the Mastodon stuff, but for certain people, not for this 100% is not for everybody. No, sorry. Not going to go do it. No, not even close. No, because it's stupid. It's absolutely ridiculously dumb. Sorry. As in, like, no. No, I'm sorry. yeah. That's why Discord I think is the easiest one for most people. As long as you're not doing anything nefarious, use it. I think it's the greatest one. Anyway, so that's what I was saying there. So yeah, what was I gonna say? I don't know. Just looking. I'm looking at some like T-shirts, and I was talking to my friend, a friend who's like all this stuff, or he's getting all. He wants to get one of every NHL jersey, I think it was. I'm like, okay, or is it hat? Might be both. Actually, not thinking about it, but yeah. And I mean, look, I don't really care. I had a bunch of them at one point. I have 2 Canadians away, one away and one home. I have a St. Louis. No, I was gonna say St. Louis Kings. No, St. Louis Lightning. That's Tampa Bay. Is it? I'm gonna look right now just to make sure. Kings. No, Los Angeles Kings. I was wrong in both instances. Los Angeles Kings. I had a whole bunch. I had like Ottawa, Toronto. I had so many. I think I got rid of them all. I think I only kept like the Canadians and this one. But that, it's okay, I guess. I don't know. I don't love this stuff. I'm not a sports person, so. I had Bulls, the basketball Bulls. What were they? What's it called? The Boston Bulls? Nope. The Bulls. What were the Bulls? Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls. Like sweatpants at one point. And then I had, is it the red? The Chiefs? No. The baseball Indians. Like a jacket or something? I don't know. Don't ask me what these people are. I don't know. I don't care about these teams. Sorry, I don't give a hoot. But yeah, I don't care. I like the Montreal Canadiens because there's a Montreal Canadiens and they're just really, really cool. Other than that, I don't care. Look, I don't. I'm sorry. I'm going to say this right now. I don't care. But yeah, I don't. But yeah. What was I going to say? Yeah, so, what else? Yeah, so, I'm not a jersey guy. Also, my Montreal Canadiens ones are both fake. I'm 90% sure they're fake. And my dad was like, a jersey has to have a NHL logo somewhere, and it's usually right in the like neck, in the front of the neck. There's a little like tiny little logo that says NHL. Actually, I don't know if the LA Kings one has it. Let me see if that has it. If it doesn't, then I might question it. If that LA Kings doesn't have it, then I'll question it. But let me see. Oh crap! No. Okay, so let's do this. Okay. So let me see. So does it? Let's check. Maybe? Okay. Let me check now. Okay, cool. Yeah? Oh, no, it has one. This one's a bigger one, so it's officially licensed product. See, I have to say that somewhere, no? And mine don't say that on my Montreal Canadiens, but they're better, okay, than both both my real ones, for some strange reason. The fake ones are better than the real. Ugh, it's annoying. But yeah, I'm trying to sell my real ones. If anybody wants them, hit me up. I think I want 80 bucks. 80, 90 bucks. Somewhere around there. Like, I'm not trying to sell them for $1 million, but I know that they're worth some money. So, anyway, yeah. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying, whatever. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, so. I don't know. I'm not a jersey guy, but I was looking at them right now, and I'm like, they're okay. They're cool. But I don't care. They're nice things to wear. I actually really like wearing them because they're like really good quality stuff. And they're like that like good in between when you don't want like a sweater that you're going to like burn your face off in, but you don't want to wear a t-shirt, and you're not really particularly a long sleeve guy. Sorry, I just blanked on that. Long sleeve guy. So you're like a long sleeve person, so you're like, okay, well, I'll wear a jersey. They're massively oversized. They're great. I mean, I had a, I don't remember who it was. I have a Mike Camilleri shirt? I think I may have one at one point. Anyway, I know I have a Carey Price T-shirt. It's cool, but I only got it for like $4 at Renaissance, which is like our I think it's owned by Goodwill, so it's like our like local Goodwill kind of deal. Anyway, so yeah, I found it like $4, I believe. Cool stuff. But that was like, you probably paid like $60 for that. Probably. Yeah. And it's kind of annoyingly stupid how much these things are. God dang. But yeah, anyway, what were they going to say? Yeah, so it's like, okay, well, whatever. So, I mean, it is what it is in the sense that, like, sure, they're cool, but I don't care. I don't care. So, yeah, what else? I don't know what to talk about. How much longer do I have? Holy crap, I have one. Oh, no, about half the time has been used. But yeah, so. I don't know. What else can we talk about? I don't know. I never know what to talk about. I'm looking at like my wall and I'm just like, okay. I'm looking at this Batman poster I've had literally, I'm not joking, for like 12, 13 years. It's like it's ridiculous. It's incredible. And it's Detective Comics number, where's the number? 165. You know what's the most annoying thing I find? When your comic book is not like superhero number one, their first appearance. I hate that. Like Spider-Man's first appearance is not Amazing Spider-Man or Spider-Man. It's Amazing Fantasy 15, which is like, And then Batman's first appearance is not Batman, it's Detective Comics. It's like, what? DC Detective Comics, you know? It's annoying, but okay. Then Superman number one is one of the, like, what are they going to call it? It's not, again, it's Action Comics. I think number one, is it? Or Action Comics? I don't know. I have the compilation of the first, like, oh, actually I have it right here. I can look at you right here. Is Superman number one Action Comics number one? Or is it Superman number one? I don't remember. And quite frankly, no offense, I don't really care. Yeah, Action Comics number one, yeah. Superman number one, there you go. No, so it's Action Comics number one, and there's a Superman number one, too. Okay, well. I have one of these Superman in the 40s. I have the 40s and the 70s. I don't have the 50s or 60s yet. I don't know if I ever want them, to be honest. Because I don't know. You kind of read Superman, and I kind of get where people like Frank's, is it Silverman? Is that his name? Frank from Pat Phineas Punk and all that Pat Country stuff doesn't like this guy. Because, man, does he just come off as like, oh my god, I'm the best. Look at me. Nothing will ever happen to me, and it's great. Because I was watching a video once called, I think the channel was Only in Japan or something. And it was just, I think the guy's name was John. Anyway, and in he was talking about how he went to manga. He was talking about manga, and manga's great. Manga, right? And I was like, okay, cool. And he was like, you know what's great about this? We have our own kind of Superman guy, right? And it's Goku. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I know of Goku. And then he talks about it like, but the thing with Goku is he can lose. No, he never dies, right, necessarily. Or dies per se, but he loses and comes back and becomes better. He learns from it. That's the other problem with the Superman guy. He it never seems like he learns much from any of what happens. He'll get this like in quotes, like quote unquote lose in air quotes lose, you know, but he never like completely it never really sounds like he learns from anything. I'm not saying he's terrible. I like the stories. I like how simple they are. I think kids really do. I think kids do like it. I think kids like it a lot. But like, and Superman's a great character. I like Superman as a character. As a concept, Superman is great. But as a theory, but in practice, when you're reading it, you're like, oh god, this guy is, no offense, terrible. 18 Early Adventures of the Man of Tomorrow. Sorry. So yeah, what was I gonna say? It was like I was listening to an old episode of the completely unnecessary podcast, and I was like, oh yeah, what what they're gonna say. Yeah, and they were talking about when the Spider-Man game came out for PS4, and I was just like, cool. Problem with the thing with this game is, it's because web swinging is fun, flying around and not so much. Web swinging and like gliding around. That's why Spider-Man games work and Batman games work. Superman games. The problem with Superman 2 is like, Superman would be cool, but I'd love to see a Superman like open world Superman like just let you do whatever you want, like GTA-esque Superman, or even like based on something I don't really care. But like just like a Spider-Man 2 for PS2 like esque game where we're Superman. We can just do stuff. We can run around. We can whatever, you know. I can see it being a decent thing, a cool thing. But I don't know. Is it going to be New York? No, apparently. No, I don't know if this is true, but apparently, Gotham City is actually supposed to be New Jersey. So, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I mean, but I can see why people would just know. I'm sorry. Like, I've read this. I'm like, oh my god, this is actually like, excuse me? No, I'm sorry. This is whack. Now, it's not terrible, but man, I can understand why people don't like this. I mean, he never learns anything, or he never like seems like he comes out and learns some great thing. No, it's always like some like, oh poopy foop me, oh, I win now. I'm like, what? I'm the good guy. I'm the best guy. Like, I guess in the 40s though, when we were fighting the war, or the 39, whatever the first one came out, it was like where we were fighting the war, not winning the war. Well, I mean, I don't know, but we're fighting the war, and it was like, okay, well, actually, they only came into it in 40, like, 2 or something. Anyway. Whatever. Whenever they came into the war. We were fighting the war, and it was like, okay, great. This is a great, like, embodiment of American spirit, I guess. I don't know, but it's annoying. Because I'm looking at Batman, and the thing with Batman, too, is Batman seems like he learns. Batman seems like he, like, can grasp things. You know what the problem is? He doesn't seem like some, like, contrived mannequin-like person. He seems like a real human being. In comparison to Superman, where it's like, oh, I'm a contrived mannequin guy that we've made in, like, not a laboratory, but we've, like, created and designed to be this, like, perfectly, look at me, amazing. You know, it's like, whatever. I don't think it's the worst, but God, man, it's awful. I was never into comic books, so I never read comic books, but I don't know. So, that's why I don't know much about comic books, so if you have anything about comic books, just let me know. Like, you want me to know? Just let me know, because I would love to try and get into comic books, but the problem with comic books is, I think it was Ashens who would always make the point of, like, adding a random comic book into something like, loot crates was one of the dumbest, because they did have, like, issue blah 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 in a loot crate or something like that, and it was like, why am I, no. I'm supposed to now do what now? I'm supposed to what? I'm supposed to go back and find, and it's always some ludicrously high number, like 100 and something, and you're like, well, I've got to read 100 or find out which arc this guy's from, and then read that arc. It's like, oh man. Like, yeah. So, getting into comics is one of the dumbest things. Just go back to Superman for a sec. You have Superman freaking die, and he doesn't really die. It's like, so just read that whole arc of Superman. That's a Superman comics, because like, wow, it's like it goes into this roller coaster of, oh my god, he's dead. We're all gonna mourn. No, he's not. I'm back, and there's like 7 different versions of him. It's a robot, the female, or I don't know if the female actually, but there's a robot, and this thing. It's like, oh my god, that's incredible. And then just like, oh no, the actual one's real back. The actual one, the real one's back. It's like, what? Excuse me? What? What? I like how you can, like, kind of explain away anything while explaining nothing. Like, kind of like, oh yeah, he never really died. It's the episodic stuff where it's like, there's never two things that, like, you never need to really, you can just do whatever you want. That's something I like about, like, cartoons and, like, comic books. It's like, oh, it never really has to make any sense. Like, you can be dead. and then still the next issue just be completely back and be like, oh, I never even questioned it. Or like this big thing can happen, but in the next episode or next issue, forget it. That meant nothing because nothing holds water there, which is fair. Like, oh, sorry, which is fine. I mean, sorry, which is fine. But anyway, I'm still recording, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Just making sure. Yeah. So it's annoying as heck, but yeah. When you actually like, if you're looking at it in like a logical way, it's such annoying. What? What just happened? Oh, but the next what? But I understand why they do that too. It's for kids. What do you want? All right. Anyway. Yeah. So. Yeah. So. God, I was never a I was never a superhero person either, but I just like had friends. Again, back to I don't know. I was talking about this on one of my streams, and I was like, this is so stupid. How like I'm thinking back to my like childhood. I'm like, did I like anything, or did I only follow what other people liked? And a lot of things I only even ever touched because somebody else liked it. Like superheroes was definitely one of those. Like, who's your favorite superhero? Like, if I had to pick one right now, gun to my head, I will shoot you if you don't just tell me at least one that is like tell me your favorite superhero. I don't know because I like Spider-Man a lot, but I can see why Batman is highly liked, right? But I can also see why people like, the Captain Americas and the Thors and the Iron Mans and the Hulks are highly acclaimed, like really liked. But then I can see why like something like Teen Titans is a cool setup, superhero slash sidekicks. I was also watching a review by Microwave Society on what's it? Not Superhero High, something high though, Sky High, and there's like a sidekick version and like a hero version. I'm like, sidekick trope died real quick. There's like weird lesser characters, but they're not necessarily the same kind of sidekick to somebody else. Like Marvel, there's like zero sidekicks in Marvel. DC, there's a few. But it's also, if you look back at some of the old, Batman, right? Some of the old Batman, there's nothing, I repeat, nothing that made him, he was never supposed to be a super dark character, or at least not at the beginning. He was never like a super, super crazy dark character that they made him in the 80s and 90s with the movies, right? No, he wasn't. He really, really wasn't. No. There's nothing about him that was like super like dark and dingy. A weird dark and dingy character, like like creepy dark too. Like no, everything about it. The villains, Batman, Robin, they were all like upbeat. Characters. Like there was nothing crazy about them. Like, or nothing like dark and sinister about them. Nothing disconcerting, sinister, like ooh, creepy. None of it. But they turned Batman dark and dingy, and like now you've got this whole like group of people who are like, oh no, Dark Batman is the only Batman. I'm like, no way. Like they look at 66 Batman and go, ugh, that's a stupid piece of garbage. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That's the way Batman was originally intended to be. I hate these people. Like Superman. Superman's a very like upbeat, da da da. But then the Man of Steel looks at him, makes him out to be like this a little bit dingier, and then they try and make him out to be like deep and dark and whatever like Batman, and like turns into. And it's like, why? Why are you taking this in like a what do you call him? Oh, and things like the Justice League and Batman vs Superman. Also, when the heck was Batman ever enemies with Superman? Like, why? Why? But like the Avengers just deciding one day. Well, they kind of had that thing with Civil Wars and stuff, but they never were like, oh, "I hate you and you must die in a fire, burning corpse." It's like no, that's not what that means, like, at all. Which is fair. It's not. So, like, I don't understand how a movie like that got greenlit at all. I'm like, what? What? Why? What? How? What? Ugh, forget it. It's stupid. You know that? It's real dumb. It's real dumb. It's real dumb. It's real dumb. But, never again are we like, I don't know. Look, never again should that ever happen. I don't understand it. I don't think I ever will. I think it's just one of those dumb things where it's like, oh, so the other thing with Batman is just smart. There's nothing I always try to explain to people, Batman is technically not a superhero, is he? Isn't he technically a caped crusader? Anyway, I'm also looking at this poster right now and thinking, why did I even have this poster? Like, why did I want this? Why do I have this? I'm sorry, right? But I really don't care. Like, I'm sorry. I really don't care about it. Now, the poster behind it, the mural, the, like, vinyl, whatever, the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD. Oh, that's where that came from. Okay, anyway. Poster. Sure, right? Right? That's a cool post, or vinyl, whatever, mural looking thing, and it's great, and it's fine. I didn't even take this. Oh, I thought it was. Never mind. I was about to say this Lord of the Rings. No, it's a Zelda poster. That makes sense. But yeah, I would take a Lord of the Rings um over this year. And I don't. And look, I don't have a problem with Lord of the Rings. I'm just saying, like, my problem with Lord of the Rings is, I don't know. It's the medieval thing. God, medieval's been everywhere. Like, in the last, like, 20, 30 years, medieval's been everywhere. There's always some medieval show. It's like a supernatural show, medieval, and the superheroes are like the thing that's been here forever. I'm like, oh my god. I don't like any of them, really. Let's be honest. There's some that were okay. Like, My Babysitter's a Vampire wasn't the worst TV show. I remember watching it as a kid and just being like, whatever. But god. Or knights. It's knights, pirates, ninjas, all that kind of, like, I never really liked any of them, to be honest. Like, let me be brutally honest, I didn't really care. Like, I'm looking at it right now, and I have two posters on my wall, which are of these, like, action cards, and one is, on top, is like a medieval, although, one of my favorite movies is Monty Python and Holy Grail. One of my favorite movies is Monty Python and Holy Grail. I don't particularly like that whole medieval trope. It's overdone. So the top one is like a medieval, like, Viking-y, knights-looking whatever. I don't even know how to explain it, but yeah. And the one underneath it is a Roman, like, Colosseum-looking, like, gladiator, right? And I'm like, ugh, I don't know. I have no idea, man. I don't know. It's just so everywhere, man. Like, although Zelda's one of my favorite video game series, so what does that say about me, right? That's basically knights, right? Medieval, right? I don't know, look, it's kind of... If I had to pick between pirates and knights, though, I'm looking at a different picture, which is a picture of a boat, right? I'm like, ugh, I probably would choose... I don't know, because... No, but you know what's the problem with pirates? Pirates always seem like there's so much material for pirates. And then you just, like, think about it for, like, 5 seconds, and you're like, wow. The story's going to be pretty much exactly the same as ever. Where knights, there's a whole broad centuries of knights. Probably 2 or 3, I don't know. There were, like, hundreds of years of knights, no? So, like, you know? So you could probably go forever with like, material, and, like, make it out to be whatever you kind of wanted it to be, right? Right? God. Okay. I was listening to well, because I had read Ready Player One, and I really liked it. It was my favorite book up until that point, right? And yeah, it's great. The problem with it is when everybody started breaking down like why it's terrible, I went, yeah, I can kind of see what you mean. It does the Goldbergs, the TV show thing, where it literally shoves the 1970s and 80s. Well, the Goldbergs is only in the 80s, but Ready Player One shoves like what's it called? The stuff down your like just down your throat. Like it's disgusting. It shoves 70s and 80s down your throat, and I'm like, it's not that bad. And I started reading it again or listening to it again, and I'm like, okay, no, this is horrible, horribly shoved down your throat. I don't hate it, but it's shoved down your throat. Then I read this. I'm starting to read the second, so Ready Player Two, and I'm just like, I asked on the subreddit, or no, sorry, Discord that says that's Ready Player Two, right? And I'm just like, did you like? Was Ready Player Two as good as Ready Player One? Like, no. What did you not like? And they're like, just read it. You'll know. So I started listening to it, and I'm just like, wow, this is just Ready Player One on the next level, and it's like, at least it sounds like it's going to be. Now, don't spoil it for me anywhere, and I won't spoil it for anybody else. But I'm just saying, like, it just feels like, oh my god, no, this is just Ready Player One. I was gonna say on steroids, but not. Just like just an up a notch. I'm like, you suck. Why? One was okay. Because I was thinking too, could you do this in 2000s? It's like, no, you can't. Because I was thinking like, if only you could make it more of like a like futuristic cyberpunk like thing rather than like a, which kind of does, because like the world is really like that, but like the outside world, the real world is like that, but I don't know. God, I can see why people do not like that book and movie with a passion. I can see why people hate it. Like, oh, and hate's a strong word, but no, some people hate it. Like, no, this is bad. I don't like it. I can see why they don't like it, because it's like the Goldbergs. They shove nostalgia down your throat. Like, here's nostalgia, and you will love it because you had you had even the most vaguest connection to this thing. You're 20 years past the date. You're like 7 years old. You're 20 years past anything even remotely close, but you've touched something like that, so you love it. It's like, what? No. I was like, yeah, no. Sorry, no. I can see why people don't like them. Like, the concept is amazing, and the way it works is amazing. But it's the shoving down your throat that loses everybody. It's like, oh, don't shove nostalgia down my throat. Nostalgia is a poison. Nostalgia can be, let me reiterate, nostalgia can be a poison that kills us slowly. Nostalgia can be a poison that kills us slowly. And nostalgia can come in these weird waves, too. It's like, oh, I want to be nostalgic for all these things. Right? Completely just for all these things. But then, I want nothing to do with nostalgia. Give me modern stuff or whatever. Give me useful modern stuff, like whatever. And then again, you can, whatever, months later, oh, I want nostalgia again. Or years later, I'm like, I want nostalgia again. I want a whole bunch of nostalgia. I love nostalgia. Let's get nostalgia. Nostalgia's amazing. It's fantastic. I'm like, what? Like, I fall under that. I'm sure everybody falls under that, like, weird nostalgia. Like, this isn't necessarily nostalgia, but I was looking at some of these really old Bibles with my friend, like, an hour and a half ago or so, 2 hours ago, and it was like, wow. 3 hours ago, and it was like, I mean, they're stupid expensive. They're everything from, like, a couple of $100 to $45,000, so holy moly. But they were so damn cool. Man, they were amazing. But I was just looking at them, I'm like, this is so cool. This is so cool. Like, it's a cool thing, I have to say. It's not nostalgia per se, It's just that like they're super old, and it like those kind of things supersede nostalgia because like they're way pre nostalgia, right? So and they're like useful. That's the other thing too. Look, I'm okay with something where it's like you're nostalgic for something that was like an actually good thing. Like, oh, I used a thing back in like 2007 and it was amazing and it works really well and I'd love to use it again. That kind of thing. Fine. But a lot of the times nostalgia is some stupid thing that people do not, and I repeat, do not have a use. Like, there's no reason to care about it really. That's like, oh, that's annoying. Like, yeah, no, it is. No, it is. Ugh. 'Cause like, these Bibles were cool. They're big. They were leather bound. They had clasps on them. They were amazing. I'd buy one if I had money, but I don't. I'd buy one of those like $150 Bibles. Oh yeah. Or if you want to get me anything for Christmas this year, somebody. Now I'm not telling you to do this, but one of those Bibles would be incredible. One of those Bibles would be incredible. They would be incredible. Those would be so cool. I'm talking like 1850s, 1860s, 1553, 57. Oh, it's incredible. I'm like, wow. So what we found was we had the Geneva Bible, which is the thing that comes right before the King James. And everybody always touts King James. Oh, it's the oldest. Oh, it's the most accurate. Oh, no, there were ones before that are better. Well, better, I don't know. I don't know about better. So we find the Geneva Bible. Okay, we're like, okay, great. Then we find something called the Great Bible, which precedes the Geneva Bible. We're like, oh, great. So that's the, like, quintessential, like, oldest manuscript. Then we find something by William Tyndale, his translation of the Bible, which is used. So it's like this, okay? William Tyndale's, this is what we've learned. I should have saved all those. Oh, well. William Tyndale is translating the Bible into English. He's basically the most accurate published Bible and the first published Bible, no, and the most accurate. We're like, great, good. So for a few decades, I think. Anyway, we use his Bible in English. Then they take his Bible, and it's the basis for the Great Bible. Then the Great Bible is the basis for the Geneva, and the Geneva is the basis for the King James, and then King James just never had any predecessor. Which sounds like a bad thing, but I don't know. But, I mean, there are King James Puritans, who are like, oh, it's the only Bible you should read. It's like, why, though? Because King James approved of it? Is that what's going on? Anyway. So I'm looking to get... I'd get a Tyndale Bible. Tyndale Bible, yeah. I get a Williamson's Tyndale Bible. Yeah, it'd be great. I would, yeah, it's cool. Yeah. I don't know if it's like Old English-y like the King James. Well, whatever, Anglo-Saxon, or not the Anglo-Saxon actually version, because the Old English, no, whatever that's called, the Shakespearean way of speaking, kind of. Anyway, yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I'd get one. Yeah, again, but I wouldn't spend more than like $150 on one. No. Yeah, so, I mean, and some of these things look so ornate and amazing. Like, just incredible. Like, I would have bought one on the spot if I had that amount of money. But, like, no. I don't have that kind of money, so. Yeah, there were pages. Leaf pages. Right? That were, like, $2,500, $2,500. I'm like, that's insane! Oh my word, that's insane! That's incredible! Of these Bibles that were just, I think they're pages for like 1,000, 1,200, 1,700. $2,500. Like, I think we looked at some of the cheapest stuff, and the cheapest stuff was still pages for like $85. I'm like, what? That's insane. That's incredible. That's absolutely insane. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're cool, but not for that price. Just get a whole Bible at that. Like, just save up for the better Bibles that are like 500, 600, 400, or 1,000 or something, you know? So, yeah. I don't know. A Bible like that would be so cool to own. I don't know. I just think that'd be so cool to own. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for now, guys. I don't know. I think yeah. So if you want to get in touch with me, there's the email tacoimposters@gmail.com. That's tacoimposters@gmail.com. There are the two Discord servers. And then if you want to contribute, support me in any way, there's the Patreon. That's patreon.com/W capital ING, not capital. W capital ONG, not capital. That's patreon.com/wingwong. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for now, guys. So adios, mi amigos.